Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, police directs investigation to alleged parental negligence. Election candidates told to follow proper procedures. And man remanded for allegedly dishonestly obtaining over $23,000.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
An investigation into 3 alleged parental negligence cases is now underway, following the deaths of 2 children in less than a week. Akosita Tale reports the police force is increasingly concerned with reports of innocent children falling victims to tragic deaths and crime.
Please be responsible.
An investigation has begun into the alleged drowning of a 2-year-old boy of Vatulele and a 4-year-old boy of Benga. This investigation also included the alleged attempted rape of an 8-year-old girl of Savu Savu last year. The investigation will focus on why these children were left unsupervised by their parents.
We have done that before, and that's one of the areas we are looking at seriously now, because we can't allow this to happen. We can't allow innocent lives to be lost through such activities of negligence.
Meanwhile, with rain in forecast, the police commissioner is warning parents to be responsible.
It is very worrying when we see pictures in the media and also driving by and seeing young children unsupervised in these dangerous areas. We call on people to be very responsible and mature about how we go through this rainy patch and also the hurricane, the cyclone warning.
The force is stressing the need to prioritize the safety of children, as their last resort is to add on to the suffering and do it by a parent by laying charges of negligence. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
Candidates for this year's general election have been warned to follow the right procedures when lodging complaints against any political party. The Electoral Commission made this clarification following Sudelpa MP Moses Mbulitavu's claim that the Fiji First Party has already started its campaign by putting up billboards around the country. Ali Kimbia reports.
Sudelpa MP Moses Mbulitavu claims these billboards are being put up by the Fiji First Party to influence the voters in the upcoming election. But instead of following the proper channel to lodge a complaint with the Electoral Commission, Mbulitavu sent a media statement.
It doesn't need to take a complaint for the Commission to make ruling. So, for people to know, sometimes rulings are just there between the complainant and the Commission, and the public, they don't know.
We want to advise all the political parties or the potential candidates that we have a complaints procedure.
However, Mbulitavu believes otherwise and alleges that lodging a complaint to the Commission will not be dealt with fairly.
Before I made my statement, I had received the NFP ruling, and I knew the same complaint that I was going to launch was launched by them, and it was particularized by them.
But the electoral chair has warned that the candidates who won't follow the law will have to face consequences.
There is a penalty for that, but then again, the complainants will not get their answers properly. They should seek legal advice on what they are doing at the moment.
The Electoral Commissioner says the Fijian Elections Office can assist individuals to properly understand the legal framework, adding the law doesn't define a campaign period, as Mbulitavu incorrectly alludes. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
National Federation Party leader Biman Prasad has blasted Fiji Labour Party leader Mahindra Chaudhry's son Rajendra Chaudhry's social media posts, castigating the NFP as utter rubbish, labelling it as gutter level. Rajendra Chaudhry, known for making defamatory comments against many Fijians, has in his latest Facebook post called Prasad a spineless leader and President Pio Tikundundua a crook. Chaudhry also claims that the NFP recently offered party leadership to Unity Party leader Savinathan Narumbe, but Narumbe refused. Today, Chaudhry made another post about Prasad, saying, "Meet the lamb chop." Chaudhry, in his post, says Prasad is a joke of a politician as far as he is concerned, as he didn't have anything better to talk about in Parliament. Prasad says he is the leader of NFP, having been unanimously elected in March 2014 and re-elected by NFP Parliamentary Caucus after the 2014 general election. He says he will be leading NFP into the 2018 election as well. He says, therefore, there won't be any issue about leadership of NFP going into the election this year. However, Prasad has not said whether NFP will take legal action against Rajendra Chaudhry for his posts on social media, especially regarding the serious allegations against the NFP president, Pioti Kunduandua. Another politician has come under the spotlight over his unsubstantiated and shocking allegations posted on social media linking the Prime Minister to recent attacks on Hindu temples. Fiji Labour Party's Assistant General Secretary Aman Ravindra Singh claims the attacks on the Hindu community has been planned and staged by the Prime Minister and the Attorney General. Singh claims the plan by the PM and the AG was to desecrate the temples, create a climate of fear within the community, and then to show up and promise security. The former PDP General Secretary also alleges these series of desecrations were not random acts of stupidity and misled thoughts that were seen in the past. Speaking to FBC News, Singh says he stands by his shocking post against the leader of the country and claims he has evidence to prove his claim. However, he refused to explain further on what evidence he was privy to. He also refused to give an on-air camera interview regarding the issue. Meanwhile, similar comments have been made on social media by the Munro Lee's lawyers Richard Naidu, which was then retweeted by NFP leader Biman Prasad. A man who allegedly dishonestly obtained more than $23,000 under the Help for Homes initiative appeared in the Suva Magistrates Court this afternoon. Atunaisa Torani Ravatu has been charged by the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption with 1 count of general dishonesty causing a loss and 2 counts of general dishonesty obtaining a gain. Pranita Prakash reports.
It is alleged that between 1st May and 30th November 2016, Atunaisa Torani Ravatu dishonestly caused a loss to the government under the Help for Home initiative. It is alleged that he misappropriated M-Pesa cards belonging to the villagers of Vuna district in Taviuni, which amounted to over $22,200, knowing that this will cause loss to the government. It's also alleged he dishonestly acquired $3,600 in Suva and Singatoka for personal gain from cash break promotion given by Vinod Patel Company Limited under the Help for Home initiative. His charges were read and he informed the court that he will seek legal aid assistance. The FICAC lawyer informed the court that no money has been recovered so far. Ravatu has been remanded in custody and the matter will be recalled on Monday. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Still to come, Aid for Trade provides over $10 million. An RFMF to recruit more female officers. Stay with us.
Bula, kera mai Singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon ko lang untuk tali tak na radio festival kena domili.
Kaya ko yazo sila tali. Nagurara may nawamanyi nandunga. Gitu tali tagi yang gitu festival e menguntur rongo. Barong na radio Fiji 1 nandunga viti.
Na radio Fiji 1 nandunga viti na bonga ni BNN.
A small farming community outside Lambasa town is calling on relevant authorities to upgrade their road and bridge as it floods every time there is heavy rain. The ongoing weather situation had caused the closure of the school and farmers lose out on a couple of days at the market. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
This is what happens every time there is heavy rain, and it's been like this for decades now. Other times the current goes over the bridge, blocking any kind of access to and from the community in Bombale.
The bridge is on a high ground and the water flows you have seen is a bit flowing on the low area.
The heavy rain from Monday has caused the cancellation of classes at Bombale Primary School, and students of Bulileka Sanatan College were sent home over fears of the rising flood waters.
When the rains in the highlands, then the flood comes here, and people can't go to work, and the children can't go to school, and all the people are stranded on the other side.
With the road closed to all traffic, farmers have not been able to make it to the market.
This problem is here for a long time. Our vegetables go bad as we are unable to take it to the market on time.
The residents have requested government and the Fiji Roads Authority on a number of occasions to upgrade the road and the bridge, but according to them, their pleas have been falling on deaf ears.
I asked the government to just increase the height of the road and increase the height of the bridge, and see that jackfruit there. The road should go up there.
In an email response this afternoon, Fiji Roads Authority CEO Jonathan Moore says while they regret the inconvenience caused to the affected communities, this is an inevitable reality during rainy season. He says while the FRA aspires to re-engineer all crossings to a less flood-prone structure, the huge number of Irish crossings versus the available budget makes this impossible in the short to medium term. He adds current budgets and workloads are stretched just to treat the existing aged, overloaded and deteriorated bridges, and the priority is to ensure that bridges servicing tens of thousands of people daily are attended to first, then progressively address rural, low-volume communities as budget and priority allows. Eleanor Turangivio, FBC News.
The Republic of the Fiji Military Forces is yet to recruit the required number of female military officers as mandated under the United Nations. The commander of the RFMF, Rear Admiral Viliame Poto, says every nation that provides peacekeeping needs to have 10% of women in their force due to the nature of service that is being provided. Savara Tambor reports.
The Fiji Military Forces has a little over 300 female officers, and there are plans to increase the number to 500.
All troop contributing countries, they should have a ratio of 10% women in their peacekeeping missions. It's because of the nature of peacekeeping right now. A lot of refugees are coming out from the areas where they operate in, and most of them would be women and children. And they are handled better, they are more comfortable, those refugees, when female soldiers are around.
The plans to recruit more women has been welcomed by the Fiji Women's Crisis Center.
I think there's something that needs to be done is during, when girls are making career choices, that, that the military is one of the options that they are encouraged to, if they wish to.
The military forces first recruited female officers in 1988, when a total of 45 officers were engaged. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
Over the past 10 years, Fiji has received more than $10 million in aid for trade from the Asian Development Bank. Trade Ministry Permanent Secretary Shaheen Ali says this assistance enabled us to develop schemes for Fijians and increase trade activities overseas. Kelly Vadala reports.
While speaking at the Aid for Trade in Asia and the Pacific Conference in Suva today, the Trade Ministry revealed some of its initiatives that were part of the program.
This has been and will continue to be achieved through various initiatives such as the Micro Small Business Grant, which the Ministry is spearheading, which is targeted to support micro and the informal sector. On the other hand, we have the Young Entrepreneurship Scheme. Also, the third initiative I'd like to mention is the Warambati Economic Zone, which will be tailor-made, which will have tailor-made incentives and plug-and-play ICT facilities.
ADB's Vice President Bambang Susantano says they assisted Fiji in many sectors.
ADB operation in Fiji date back to 1970 and have been consistent with the priorities of successive administrations across a range of sectors such as transport, energy, water and sanitation.
Meanwhile, USP's Vice Chancellor says the small island nations are facing some challenges.
Countries, especially in the Pacific, are also concerned about the speed with which changes are occurring and whether they are able to keep up with those changes.
The conference, which ends tomorrow, aims at promoting connectivity for inclusive development in the Asia-Pacific region. Kelly Vatala, FBC News.
Verifying information from social media is an important aspect for any news organization. This was highlighted by senior FBC News journalist Maggie Boyle while speaking during a panel discussion at the 9th ABU Pacific Media Partnership Conference. Felipe Nacaso has more.
Verifying and fact-checking sources is a golden rule for any broadcaster, especially if the information is picked up from social media.
Obviously content when it comes to news and verifying that content. So we have in place, of course, the checks and balances that every newsroom has, ensuring you have two sources.
Many people still turn to social media for information, which is one of the challenges faced by most local newsrooms.
You have to have news that is trustworthy, timely manner, delivered in a timely manner. They will want it first in your TV station. They want to see the news first in your TV station. So you need to deliver news in a timely manner. That's a challenge also for us.
We often see journalists getting on very readily and very naively getting onto the bandwagon on social media when a cynic attacks another media organization. That's a trend that we would like to see turn back. And the way that we've countered that is reminding our journalists, specifically at MTV, it's nearly a daily occurrence to remind them why we do the job we do, and that's to find the truth.
This has also prompted newsrooms to be interactive with the public.
Where it made it a little bit more interactive, where people could get involved in the bulletin with segments like Fijian Pulse, where we went out and got vox from people on certain issues that were trending on that day. There's also Shot of the Day, which is very popular and now sponsored, so people send in pictures from all around.
Also, an important aspect was raised that there are no specialized trained journalists to report on climate change in Fiji. Felipe Nacaso, FBC News.
Ahead in sports, legendary first five Carlos Spencer to feature for Auckland Blues and Brisbane Tens. But we now join Rachel for the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. ANZ announces ongoing naming rights for tourism awards. And in Growing Fiji, new canteen project for women group in Nainta Siri. Stay with us.
Moala rana lika o tikongona taunu singa toka ando talitaka na wakaronga ng Bull FM number 2 na seri.
Ya lora subuni kurna bili. Borani batukara hambara binaranga. Do talitakina na wakaronga ng Bull FM number 2 na seri. Bula.
Bull FM number 2 na seri.
In business tonight, in a bid to provide opportunities of growth for emerging operators, the ANZ Fiji Excellence in Tourism Awards has introduced a new initiative. Chair Bill Whitten says the winner of this year's Emerging Tourism Leader will undergo advanced customized training and mentoring. He says this has been made possible through the sponsorship provided by ANZ today. The bank has extended its naming rights sponsorship for FITA for 2018 and 2019, reiterating ANZ's support to the tourism industry. The awards will be held next Saturday at Sheraton Resort in Danarau.
Introducing additional support for one of the categories, which is the emerging tourism leader. These are the young people who, doing well, have shown up as performing to a very high standard of excellence. We as the trustees will recognise the emerging tourism leader and give that person support.
It's a great moment for us to continue to show support towards this sector, which not only drives the employment but also the well-being of a lot of people in this country.
And we now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the money market.
Thank you. A quick look at the markets today. US stocks market bounced back about 2% yesterday after suffering the biggest one-day sell-off in more than 6 years. The market is currently described as volatile. Meanwhile, the 10-year US Treasury yield is on the rise again, trading up by 3 basis points at 2.8%. This morning, the US trade balance came in with a $53.1 billion deficit. It's the biggest deficit since October 2008. New Zealand jobs employment change was surpassed, and so too was their participation rate. The unemployment rates improved as well. New Zealand interest rates comes out tomorrow, and it's expected to remain at 1.75%. And that's all for now. Vinaka.
Thanks, Sharon. Looking at today's current exchange rate set each morning for the Fijian dollar. With the foreign exchange markets reacting to fluctuating world stock markets, the Fiji dollar rose only against the euro and the Japanese yen. As for the commodities market, oil prices slipped to $63.94 a barrel. Gold closed down at $1,328 per ounce, and silver was up to close at $16.74 an ounce. And in Growing Fiji tonight, the Women's Ministry has handed over a canteen project to the women's group in Novatukia in Neitasiri. The request for the assistance was made by the group after the declaration of zero tolerance violence community last year. The project will not only benefit the 35 women who are members of the group, but the village as a whole. Minister Meriseni Vuniwanga reminded the villagers of the critical role women play in any development. The women's group has a bank account which has over $3,000 as fixed deposit and $300 in savings. And that's business this evening. Now to sports. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thank Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, new selection formula for Pacific Challenge Cup, and Bar coach hopes for win on OFC debut. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारियल रेफ्रिकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टकटाबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
A new selection formula has been implemented for teams that will be part of the World Rugby Pacific Challenge this year. For the first time, the 4 unions part of the competition will need to field an under-23 team with only 5 senior players. Vashnil Prasad reports.
Fiji, Tonga, Samoa and Japan will need to field an under-23 team in the World Rugby Pacific Challenge Cup next month. This after World Rugby changed the selection process of the teams taking part in the competition.
Quite a young squad, a squad of 28, 23 players will have to be 23 years of age or under, and you can have 5 more experienced players in your squad over the age of 23 years.
It can be good news for Fiji under-20 side, who has been struggling in the second-tier competition over the years. Flying Fijians coach John Maki says they are already working along the new criteria.
And start looking at a wider squad to train towards that tournament. But that's what we want to do. We want to integrate all our programs, around our academy.
FRU Chief Executive John O'Connor says it's a chance for the young talented players to shine at the world stage.
Immediately after that, there's some training and things that will be done by overseas coaches and for potential players that are identified.
The Pacific Challenge Cup will be held next month in Suva. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Fiji Airways Sevens winger Ronnie Sau says criticism towards the team after the Sydney Sevens helped them succeed at the Hamilton, New Zealand tournament. Dubbed the Sledgehammer, the 28-year-old police officer says despite his third outing on the world stage, he still has a lot to improve on. Eroni Tuinuku reports.
Eroni Sau says in the game of sevens, the players need to grow a thick skin and take all comments either negative or positive with an open mind.
It's always part of rugby. Sometimes people gonna turn their back on you. Sometimes you're gonna be happy about your performance.
Sau was hosted to a morning tea by Police Commissioner this morning. As the Hamilton Sevens tournament goes into the history book, the soft-spoken Yasawa native said he looks forward to the support of all Fijians as they prepare for the next leg.
We just need support and praise for all the teams and for the team members and their families, and working hard as a nation to support us in whatever situation we go through.
Meanwhile, national coach Gareth Baber says the team played hard rugby, defeating Dubai champions South Africa, Cape Town winners New Zealand, and Sydney gold medalist Australia in one tournament.
To put in those performances which you saw on the weekend, and I suppose to overcome Australia, Samoa, New Zealand and South Africa in 4 games is quite special in itself.
The Fiji Sevens team will march into camp tomorrow to prepare for the Las Vegas and Vancouver tournament. The Las Vegas Sevens will be held on the 2nd to the 4th of next month. Eroni Twinuku, FBC Sports.
42-year-old legendary first five Carlos Spencer, who guided the Auckland Blues to their last Super Rugby triumph in 2003, is back. Spencer will be part of the Blues as a guest player in this weekend's Brisbane Global Tens tournament. Meanwhile, another All Black, Conrad Smith, will captain French club Pau in the Brisbane Global Tens. Bar football mentor Ronil Kumar is hoping for a memorable debut as coach in the OFC Champions League. The former Bar midfielder says he has done his best to prepare the team and now hopes results go their way when the competition kicks off this Saturday. Vasnil Prasad has more.
Bar football team will represent Fiji for the 8th time in the OFC Champions League. Former Bar midfielder Ronil Kumar hopes to make a winning start as he debuts as a coach in this competition.
First time as a coach, I'm taking team to the Champions League, and we will go out there and do our best and bring positive result from that side.
The side last took part in the Champions League in the 2014-2015 season. They hope to secure their first win against Nalkutan FC of Vanuatu.
Each match has a final for us, so we're not taking any team lightly. So we could do our best.
Kumar says the inclusion of overseas-based Tyron Watson, Nathan Brown and Amal Singh will further lift their performance.
They gel with the team very well, and 2 of them are really good, and one is getting to its best. So we're hoping that another one will come in our team as soon as he gets well.
President Rishi Kumar reminded the team of their aim in the Champions League.
I know you all have that exposure and experience. So when you take the field on 10, 13 and 16, there should not be any excuses. There should not be any finger pointing to anybody.
Bar faces Nalkutan FC at 7 p.m. on Saturday in Vanuatu. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Secondary Schools Rugby League has recorded a major increase in the number of teams registered to compete in its annual tournament. This year's competition will feature 76 teams in total, 35 more than last year's tournament. Meli Tavanga reports.
The increase in schools at this year's secondary school competition is expected to make it a thriller.
There's more number of teams this year. There are 76. We expect this year to be very competitive, and we are really looking forward.
Since the competition was introduced in 2007, it has produced professional players now in the NRL and Rugby Union overseas.
Even Veremi Wakatawa, who's now playing for France, he actually came through the competition. William Kikau, who's also Fiji Bati and also playing for the Panthers.
Fiji National Rugby League Chief Executive Tim Modina Lamba says the competition is great for new players who want to show their best.
Now, in an age that that can really make it to the Fiji Bari team or the Vodafone Fiji Bari team come 2021. But it really depends on each player, on each student to commit that time and also the sacrifice that it is required to become, an international player.
Major sponsor Vodafone Fiji today donated over $10,000 to the competition. Round 1 of the zonal competition kicks off this weekend in all 4 divisions. All pool games are expected to be completed in week 7 of this school term. Melitavanga, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, Fiji National Rugby League Chief Executive Timothy Nalemba says Fiji Mbati players who are threatening to boycott upcoming international games are welcome to do so. Nalemba made this comment after a few players threatened to take such action, claiming they have not been paid for making last year's World Cup semi-final. Nalemba adds they have already clarified their stance on this issue.
Fiji National Rugby League has its pool of players to select from. Those that want to play for the Fiji party are welcome to play, and those that decide not to play, they can do so. The choice is theirs.
In today's play of the day, New Zealander Steven Adams continues to impress in the NBA for Oklahoma City. The center slamming down the dunk in the fourth quarter of the Thunder's 125-105 win over the Golden State Warriors. That's it from Sports Tonight. Join Angie later on with weather. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, robots could soon be taking over jobs in the security industry. Details after the break.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana warorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo sekolah ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyazo sila tale, nagurara may naomanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita kini ang gitu Venezuela, nagudurong warorong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
Are you an Instagram freak? In our new media today, we will show you some hidden tricks that'll turn you into a master Instagrammer. It's weather time now with Akosita.
Thanks, Jackie. It was a hot and humid day with a mixture of sunshine and rain, and more rain is on the way. Looking at the west for today, it was a mixed bag of sun and showers and quite humid. And eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, the hot day was cooled at times by scattered showers. And up north, more of the same, hot and humid with showers and more expected overnight. And at sea, northwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots with rough seas. For the tides, the next high tide will be at 12:37 a.m. followed by low tide at 6:42. Sunrise will be at 5:56. And for tomorrow, after overnight rain, expect more of what we had today across the nation, sun and showers with the possibility of thunderstorms. And tomorrow's temperatures, all of the major centers will hit temperature in the low 30s. And looking further on to Friday, expect the warm, humid with showers to continue. And that's all from FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Ako. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we ask, should we trust information posted on social media?
I always trust social media due of the information they gathered from the right people. They got the right information.
I don't think you should trust everything you read on social media because you do not know the sources.
We should not trust all information posted on social media because not all information are true.
I don't think that we should trust all the information that has been posted up on social media because we don't know the sources and whether it's a true or false information. People will still believe in it, but we should check on the sources first before clarifying any doubts.
The world of the weird and the wonderful, smart robots are assuming a larger role in our lives these days, and increasingly they're performing jobs that many of us would rather not do. One of those positions is that of a building security guard. Recapping the main stories, police directs investigation to alleged parental negligence, election candidates told to follow proper procedures, and man remanded for allegedly dishonestly obtaining over $23,000. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Now to our poll question this week, we are asking, should those caught vandalizing FRA properties be fined? Visit our FBC website to have your say. Before we go, our shot of the day, the picture was taken at the Singatoka Sand Dunes by Edward Barn. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
wrong on the Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola untuk talita na Radio Fiji 1 kina Domoy Viti.
Ayaw kuya sila tale. Naguraramay na omanyi. Nandunga. Gitu talita kini ang gitu Venezuela nagundur rongo. Barong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.